And off we go from Denver. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
They'll start on the ground with Brooks. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Running the toss to Brooks here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey, check that. Street.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. With that run, double check my math. Yes, he has hit 8,000 career rushing yards.
And that's fantastic. That means he's now approaching the top 50 all-time rushers in NFL history. That means he just sped past Terrell Davis, who's in the Hall of Fame. And now he's just got to go ahead and be strong and run hard because he's chasing down Larry Zonka.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready? Trap 60.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. But, man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a second down and 9.
Let's go now. Warriors 17.
Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he goes out right around the 39. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it third down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he is going to have a Panthers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll find his man. That's the rookie from Notre Dame. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a second down and 4. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Now they face a third down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
The Broncos at 0-7, winless to start the year. And they come in wondering what on earth is going on here.
And, Brandon, I reflect back to one time we had one of those deep philosophical talks about getting up every day and going to work and the whole deal. Can you imagine what it's like for this team? Every morning they wake up. They haven't won a game yet. How do they figure their way out of this one? How do they play well enough to get at least one win before this season is over?
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47.
To throw is Nix.
And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
You look at this Carolina defense.
Against the pass, they've had some issues. Ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap, because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Ready?
He'll get that complete to Franklin. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Here's Nix.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Go, Reed, go.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown.
Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his teams was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Let's go.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready, set.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third
Let's go
down.
now. Ready, ready.
To throw, here's Nix. Hard throw, incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
This is taken at the 23. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
Here we go, here we go.
And they'll run on 1st down with Hubbard. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
He finds his man, complete. It's Webb. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Back to throw here. Got his man. It's Jonathan Mingo. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Check, 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 check. No, no. Ready.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That good for 22 and a 1st down. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here, And a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready, ready.
Now it's Nix. He looks to the sideline and has Mims who makes a catch. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Ready, ready. Set, go.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Let's go now. Huh. Get up.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Franklin. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Go. Tiger, 19 Tiger. Go.
Nix to the air. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
Here we go. Here we go. Alert. Alert. Roll, roll, roll.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
On the
A
jump.
chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Come on, set. Ready.
Here's Jacobs. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Chop alert, chop alert. Hut.
One more time with Jacobs. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Josh Jacobs hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go, set.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now
as he's on to punt for Carolina. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space.
56 yards rushing for him now to this point. They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's 3rd and 3. Throwing Nix. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Ready? Hey, smash. Check smash. Check smash. 60 Bobcat. 60 Bobcat. Mustang 19.
Nix from the shotgun.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Franklin. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go. 18, Pioneer. 19 tight. 19 tight. Go.
They'll go play action with Nix. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Up the middle with Brooks here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Operating from the gun. Nix. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Now inside the 25. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 19 yards that time for number 19.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And he slings one that's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Bronco switch. Bronco switch. And up.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Third down and 10.
Set. Buffalo 18. Go.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
Buffalo 80.
They're going. It's Nix. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
Let's go now. Warriors 70.
They'll drop to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Off the play fake, Nix.
And that is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Come on, set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Get up.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. On the sneak, it's Nix. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
Credit there goes to those guys up front.
Certainly does, but we're also seeing how quarterbacks are doing it nowadays on the sneak. When I played high school ball, my coach John Ford used to say, just get down behind those guys and pick up the first down. Now these guys might hesitate to count, use their vision in their eyes, and find the crease and dive for it that way.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
Shut up. 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Hunt.
Back to throw. Nix. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Operating from the gun. Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
60 Eagle. Dragon 60. Cup 19. Cup 19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18, set. 19 Lion. Ready.
Back to the air with Nix. He's going to try and go deep again. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be taken down inside Carolina's 15.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat. Take go.
They'll look to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Once again, it's Brooks. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
And that pickup of a first down That's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. They'll try and run here with Brooks. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the fourth quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Straight ahead with Hubbard.
Partner, so much for situational football because that's the absolute last thing you want to do when you're protecting a lead in the fourth quarter. Not only do you lose yardage, but you find a way to go out of bounds and stop the clock.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 33. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's the give to Hubbard. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Here we go, set.
They hand off to their big tight end. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
18, Pioneer. Go.
He's back to throw. Able to find Mims. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
This is 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd down.
19 tight, 19 tight.
They'll look to throw. Able to connect with Jacobs.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Ready, ready. Big alert, big alert. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Trap 60, trap 60. Ready.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And they say it's never easy to come into Denver to win because of the altitude. They look pretty comfortable in the altitude.
They certainly did. I'm not quite sure how they got prepared. And it's always
Oh no, dear.
It's not. That's something different.
It's a movement.
Stop. I see something. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We do it that way. Go down. Actually, right here. Very quick. I'll give it back.
I'm not supposed to do that. I'm the eagle. Who are
Okay.
you?
I don't know. Snake is messed up. Yeah, black.
I know you want to pick the eye overall.
I picked up with a low overall. Oh man, I'm still gonna beat you. Matter of fact, who you want me to pick? I'll let you pick my team.
The Texas, the
Okay.
West Texas. You can change the uniform.
I don't want to. I'm gonna leave it how it is. You ready?
Yeah. I changed that.
It's okay. I don't want to change it.
Let's put it to 6.
No, leave it just like that. Yep.
Because 50 is going to take all day.
Yep.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 25.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Okay, the top.
So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At that time.
Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step
How
aside.
the kicker get hurt?
Huh?
How the kicker get hurt? Tell it we've been working all week. Just keep it up. Thinking out loud.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. And his first pass is incomplete.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw.
I won. Why did you drop it?
Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was
So it's better if you punt right here. If you don't get the first down, I'm gonna be close to the end zone. So you can go for it, but if you don't get it, I'm gonna be really close. It'll be easy for me to score. It's probably better to kick it right now, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Just what's best to do.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard
See, now I'm further away.
punt.
If you went for it, you didn't get it, I would be almost right there, which almost would have been like a guarantee, at least 3 points.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense. Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup, leaves him with 31.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
I had him wide open. I didn't see him too late.
It's
my fault.
Zach Bourne came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And there they bring pressure from the inside and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Now Stroud. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man.
I'll say something.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field in traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Stroud sets up the play action.
Oh, don't leave that there. Don't leave
He takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. On third down, Mixon. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Mixon, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Nice yardage.
Return, pretty good field
Nice
position.
yardage.
Start at the 32. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically,
I
what I
saw
know
it.
from guys and what I remember from
I see
playing,
it.
if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Hurts.
He dumps it off to Barkley. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do
I
talk
like
about this
that.
a lot, that a lot
3
of
yards.
corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing.
He
But in
was
this
the
case,
people.
he came up quickly
5 yards.
and made a nice, sure tackle.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
To Barkley on the check down.
Oh,
Leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Huddle again.
Get this
Ankles.
inside the 30.
That's an ankle.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
Hurts.
Oh,
Drop this
God.
underneath for Gainwell.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Hello.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Okay.
They'll look to throw here.
Touchdown.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
So close. So close.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. That's to his running back, complete. And he's got it.
I'll be right back. Take some tea, auntie.
Shy of the end zone. They get the completion, but cannot.
Something happened because you took too long. And it also says 3 players. So you have one more player. You need one more player to come. On Madden 25, it is the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans playing on EA Madden 25.
I don't know about you, Chris, Carol.